Rhodium, a metal that 99% of the population has never heard of, but is more expensive than gold, more expensive than diamonds, and sometimes even 15 times more expensive than platinum. It sounds absurd, but it is true. In the world of precious metals, where gold is always considered the king, rhodium appears as an unknown, but possesses a price that makes the whole market dizzy. A small, bright silver metal hidden in the ground with extremely low reserves, but enough to create global price shocks. Why did an unfamiliar name like rhodium climb to the throne of the most expensive metal on the planet? And what makes it so extremely valuable? Why is it so expensive? First things first. What exactly is rhodium? Rhodium is a member of the platinum group metals, or PGMs for short. Rhodium, a metal that 99% of the population has never heard of, but is more expensive than gold, more expensive than diamonds, and sometimes even 15 times more expensive than platinum. It sounds absurd, but it is true. In the world of precious metals, where gold is always considered the king, rhodium appears as an unknown, but possesses a price that makes the whole market dizzy. A small, bright silver metal, hidden in the ground with extremely low reserves, but enough to create global price shocks. Why did an unfamiliar name like rhodium climb to the throne of the most expensive metal on the planet? And what makes it so extremely valuable? To understand why rhodium has become such a valuable legend today, we have to go back more than 200 years. In 1803, British chemist William Hyde Wollaston, while refining platinum from South American ore, discovered something unusual. When platinum was dissolved in a strong acid mixture, the residue left behind created strange pink compounds. Curiosity prompted Wollaston to isolate them, and he made history. A new element was born, rhodium. The name he chose came from the Greek word rhodon, meaning rose, to describe the unique pink color of rhodium salts. A chance discovery, but one that opened the story of the rarest metal on the planet to the naked eye. Rhodium appears as a shiny silver metal with a mirror-like surface. But behind its simple appearance lies a skill set that has made the entire industrial world depend on it. Rhodium is extremely reflective, and it hardly oxidizes or tarnishes. Even when exposed to extreme temperatures, its corrosion resistance far exceeds that of gold and platinum, making it the perfect coating for equipment that needs to last for many years. But its real power lies in its chemical reactions. Rhodium can convert toxic gases like nitrogen oxides, one of the worst pollutants, into harmless nitrogen and water vapor in a car's exhaust. Just a few milligrams of rhodium are enough to clean the exhaust of tons of fuel burned. A small metal, but shouldering the responsibility of protecting the air we breathe every day. In the world of commodities, there is no story as harsh as rhodium. Everything related to this metal is an economic problem of extreme scarcity. First of all, rhodium exists in the Earth's crust at a ratio of only 1,037 parts per million, a number so low that it is almost zero. To put it in perspective, gold is already rare, but it is still 1,500 times more abundant than rhodium. This means that even if you dig up a whole mountain of ore, the chance of finding rhodium is still extremely low. That scarcity has a direct consequence. Global production is only about 30 tons per year, while the gold mining industry produces up to 3,000 tons. But the story is more difficult than that. Rhodium cannot be mined directly. It only appears as a tiny byproduct when mining other metals such as platinum or nickel. That is, even if demand for rhodium increases sharply, the world cannot actively increase production. More rhodium would require increased production of platinum, a completely different metal with its own demand and price. This creates a classic bottleneck in the global supply chain. But the biggest blow is geographical. 80% of the world's rhodium supply comes from South Africa. Any disruption in the country, a minor strike, a security incident, a widespread power outage, or political unrest would send rhodium prices soaring worldwide. 2020-2021 was a classic example. South African mines closed due to the pandemic and labor shortages, while China tightened emissions standards. The result, rhodium prices soared to nearly $3,000 an ounce, 15 times more than gold, making it the most expensive metal ever publicly traded. In economics, This is a perfect case of rising demand and stagnant supply. Every car produced requires a certain amount of rhodium to meet environmental standards, but mines can't grow faster, so even small fluctuations in demand or supply can create global price shocks. It's this combination of extreme rarity, a strangled supply chain, and heavy dependence on a single country that has transformed rhodium from a little-known metal into a symbol of unattainable value. It's more than just geology. It's a vivid economic lesson in scarcity, risk, and the power of supply and demand. Despite its extreme rarity and extreme price, rhodium is not a metal to be kept in a safe or displayed on a shelf. It is a real-world material, playing a key role in the technologies we encounter every day, sometimes without even realizing that the world's most expensive metal is working silently behind the scenes. The most important and largest application of rhodium is in the automotive industry, where up to 80% of global rhodium is used to make catalytic converters. Catalytic converters that help clean up exhaust gases. These are the components in the exhaust pipes of every gasoline or diesel car. During the process of burning fuel, the engine produces a series of toxic gases such as nitrogen oxides, carbon monoxide, and unburned hydrocarbons. With just a few milligrams of rhodium in the catalyst, these toxic gases are converted into nitrogen, CO2, and water, significantly reducing air pollution. Without rhodium, global automakers would not be able to meet the increasingly stringent emissions standards of the US, Europe, or China. So, no matter how high the price, the industry is forced to buy it at all costs. Rhodium is not an option, it is a must. Beyond cars, rhodium is also present in the world of optics and mirrors because of its extremely reflective properties and near resistance to oxidation. It is used to coat mirrors in telescopes, scientific instruments, light sensors, and precision optical systems. In environments where ordinary metal mirrors tarnish, rhodium retains a near-perfect luster for many years. That makes it ideal for high-tech industries, where errors are measured in parts per million. In the luxury consumer market, rhodium is known for its rhodium plating in jewelry and watches. Many white jewelry pieces, like silver or white gold, are actually coated with a super thin layer of rhodium to create a strong shine, prevent tarnish, and increase durability. High-end brands, especially Rolex, use rhodium in the details of the dial or watch hands to create a pure reflection and a distinct sense of luxury. A rhodium coating is only a few microns thick, but it is enough to turn a piece of jewelry into a high-end item with a flawless shine. In addition, rhodium is also found in writing instruments and luxury accessories, such as high-end fountain pens, clasps, pen tips, mechanical parts in expensive watches, or products that require both beauty and durability. The chemical stability of rhodium prevents it from fading over time, helping high-end products maintain their perfect appearance after many years of use. Overall, rhodium is hidden but present in the most important places. From the air we breathe, the cars used by billions of people, optical instruments serving science, to luxury items that show off status. It is a prime example of an irreplaceable metal, saving the planet while enhancing the human experience. When a metal is many times more valuable than gold, is incredibly rare, and plays a mandatory role in the global auto industry, the natural question arises: should you invest in rhodium? It sounds appealing, but it is also one of the most dangerous and unpredictable markets an investor can touch. Rhodium's first appeal lies in its sheer scarcity. Unlike gold or silver, which can be mined directly, rhodium only occurs as a byproduct of the refining of platinum and nickel. Global production is only about 30 tons per year, too small to create a stable market. When such a scarce asset meets mandatory industrial demand, especially from the auto industry, its price can skyrocket at any time. This happened in 2008 and especially in 2020-2021, when rhodium hit nearly $3,000 per ounce, far surpassing all other metals and generating incredible profits for those who bought in early. However, this rarity and imbalance in supply and demand creates a risky market. Rhodium prices do not fluctuate by percentage points. They move in crazy cycles, sometimes rising 300% in just a few months, then plummeting 60%, 80% the following year. There are no futures markets, no popular ETFs, no large public exchanges. This makes rhodium not as liquid as gold, silver, or platinum. You cannot simply go to a bank or a gold shop to sell rhodium. Trading mainly takes place through specialized brokers or industrial precious metals companies. That means easy to buy, but hard to sell, and often at a high premium. Another risk is that rhodium is heavily dependent on the auto industry. If technology changes one day, say, electric cars completely replace internal combustion engines, demand for rhodium could fall dramatically. Also, since 80% of supply comes from South Africa, any instability there, strikes, power outages, mining disruptions, could send rhodium prices ricocheting in unpredictable directions. In other words, rhodium is not gold. It is not a long-term store of wealth, has no traditional value, does not have a large investor community, and is not easily converted into cash when needed. It is more like a micro-cap, hyper-volatile stock than a safe haven asset. So should you invest in rhodium? The answer depends on who you are. If you are a high-risk taker, willing to hold assets for the long term, and understand the industrial metals market, rhodium can generate explosive returns. But if you want stability, liquidity, and low volatility, rhodium is definitely not for you. In short, rhodium is a true speculative asset. The profits can be sky high, but the risks are also beyond imagination. This is a playground only for those who truly understand and can withstand the terrible falls of the market. Looking back at rhodium's entire journey, from an obscure element in a laboratory in 1803 to the status of the most expensive metal on the planet, it's not just about price. Rhodium symbolizes the magical intersection of science, industry, the environment, and the global economy. A tiny metal so rare, it's almost beyond imagination. Yet it plays a crucial role in keeping the air we breathe cleaner. An invisible catalyst that helps the world run smoother, safer, and more sustainably. Behind the halo of gold or diamonds, rhodium is the silent hero of the modern age. It appears in every car, every optical device, every luxury item, silently improving the quality of life in a way we sometimes forget to notice. And it's that contradiction, small but powerful, anonymous but irreplaceable, that makes rhodium a story worth telling. If you find the journey of discovering rhodium interesting, leave your ideas about metals, products, or phenomena that you want me to decode in the next video. Each of your comments is not only motivation, but also the key to open new journeys. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on what topic you would like me to cover in the next video. See you next time.